Welcome everybody to the Nantucket Community Schools Wellness Program in partnership with Remain Nantucket and the Greenhound Building. We're thrilled to have Sabina Liebman with us this morning to talk about raw food diets. This is one of a series of 4 programs that we're able to offer you for the month of March. Please look at our website at www.nantucketcommunityschool.org, and you will see the 3 other programs that will be coming your way for March. Raw food diets, besides being one who's not really thrilled about cooking, I'm intrigued about the raw food diets, and proponents of the raw food diet suggest there are many benefits to eating this diet, one being increased energy, also skin tone, I understand, is an improvement, and just the nutritional benefits. So I'm very thrilled to have Sabina Liebman with us today to share her insight and expertise. Thank you, Sabina.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome. I'm glad that all of you people came. Was there anybody here? I know Penny was. There were a few people here that came to the last talk. Oh yeah, Christina. Okay, so not everybody. It's not a continuation of that last talk. I think it's more it's like a part of the whole puzzle. So basically what I want to cover today is I want to give you a very brief history of raw food so that you understand that this is not a fad diet. When I run into people, they say, "Oh, are you still doing that raw thing?" And I've been doing it for 2 years, so it's not a raw thing, it's not a fad diet, it's really a way of life. And you don't have to do it 100%. You can just incorporate little bits and pieces into your life and feel the benefit. So I wanted to go a little bit over the history and then get into some of the equipment that is used in preparing the food, because a lot of people aren't familiar with it, and a lot of it is actually just regular home equipment that you have, so you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. And we've got some samples and recipes, and I'll go over a little bit of prep work on how to make this stuff for yourselves. So I wanted to first say about myself, which I don't think I fully introduced myself at the last class. I've been raw for 2 years. This last week actually is our 2-year anniversary, Joe and I both. And I have no formal training, or I haven't completed a formal training yet, but I am working on it. I'm working on getting a master's in vegan and live food nutrition. It's through a program in Arizona in consult with a school in California. It's the only program like it offered in the country. So I'm at the beginning stages of doing that. So eventually I'll have the credentials. But now I have the experience, and I've read a lot. Oh, and Joe's pointing out also Alyssa Cohen, who owns Grazo Restaurant and wrote a fabulous book about raw food called Living on Live Food, and I have it in the back of the handout. She was the person who I think was instrumental in converting us. We went to her restaurant, and that's what did it for us, overnight. And she has seminars, so I went. Her restaurant, she has 2 now. One is in Boston in the North End. And I put actually her website on the handout so you can look it up. And she just opened up a new restaurant that's called Grazo, both of them. The new one in Newburyport, north of Boston. And so I've been to her seminars too, so I'm certified as an Alyssa Cohen teacher. Whatever that means, but but it was interesting. You learn a lot. So, and anybody can do that. You can go take her course. It's a 4-day course. So anyway, raw food. So we'll look at the first slide. So what is raw and living food? What can you eat? So basically, this is the list of what you eat. Basically, it is, what you see here: vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, grains, beans, sea vegetables, and you can heat these things up to 118 degrees, and you get to that temperature by using a dehydrator. Is there anything else I wanted to say about that? I heard an interesting quote the other day that if it wasn't food 100 years ago, it's not food today. So we go into the grocery store and we open up a package or rip open a box and, pour it in, and we think we're having breakfast, and you dump milk in there. 100 years ago, that didn't exist. If you wanted a breakfast like that, you would make like a muesli from whole grains, and you'd chop up fresh fruit and raisins and put all that in there. So you can still have a breakfast cereal, but you make it yourself, or you can buy it from a raw source. And so you're still, you're not living on salads, basically, is what I want to say. So those are basically the foods that you're consuming. Why is it beneficial? So all food, so this grows natural, in nature, and it contains enzymes, vitamins, minerals. It contains everything that it needs to sustain who's ever going to eat it. Animals live off of this, and we live off of it. And the problem comes in when we cook it. And the more you cook it, the more denaturing that occurs. So the reason the temperature stays under 118 degrees is because at 118, you lose 100% of the enzymes in the food. And enzymes are required for every body function in your body. They are the catalyst. It's a protein, and they're the catalyst that makes everything happen. Cell regeneration, hair growth, you blinking your eyes, all of your electrical impulses that happen in your body, that all requires enzymes. And sure, your body produces enzymes, but you can also get it from the food that you eat, so that your body isn't as strained to produce them. But when you cook your food, you don't get any enzymes from the food that you eat. So you're 100% dependent on your body making it. Vitamins and minerals, again, at that threshold of temperature, you start to degenerate vitamins and minerals 30 to 50%. And the more you cook something, the more loss you get. Eventually, if you pick up your asparagus and it hangs over, like the canned asparagus, there's nothing left in there. And okay. I was going to say I used to love eating that. I used to open up a can of asparagus, and it was so good. And now, when you look at it, you can see that the life force is gone from it, So I put amino acids / protein. Everybody says, oh, where do you get your protein? Protein is actually just amino acids. It's amino acid chains. And all vegetables contain amino acids. In fact, I think all vegetables contain the full spectrum of the amino acids, but some in smaller amounts and some more. And that is what you need. When you eat protein, say from an animal product, your body has to take it in. And so think of the amino acid chain like a bead necklace, right? And each colored bead is a different amino acid. And so when you eat a cow, that cow has, so first of all, that cow has gotten its protein by eating the grass and the grains, and if it was a naturally grown cow. And so it eats that, and its body forms those chains and makes the protein to build its tissues and all that kind of stuff. So then when you eat that cow, your body has to break down that bead necklace again back into its constituent amino acid parts and then restring it for your body. So the alternative is to go direct to the plant and get the individual amino acids, so your body has this whole bowl of beads and it can string exactly what it wants. There's no extra effort there to break down the meat. Another thing to keep in mind, and this had an impact on me, is that your body is basically a big juicing machine. Everything that you consume has to be turned to liquid in order for your body to be able to use it. So if you think about eating a lettuce or a carrot versus chewing a piece of steak, imagine the process that's involved in turning that into liquid in your body. So that gives you a visual.